Hello and welcome to Generation Shadow, the epic supernatural saga that takes you through the entirety of horror history, one nightmare at a time. Speaking of nightmares, this bow tie, the reason I'm wearing it is because we are in beautiful 1950s Las Vegas, and an issue entitled An Angel in Sin City. We'll get to all the fun, gambling, heists, and supernatural shenanigans in just a moment. First, let's meet some of the players who will be rolling the dice, so to speak, and also literally, in this episode. So I want to know who you are, who your character is. The stupid class flag. Oh, God, that's cheap bow. You know, if it was a real bow tie, it'd be easier, maybe.
Debatable.
Yeah. Anyway, let's meet some of our players. So we'll start with Marvin.
All right. So hi, I'm Marvin, and today I'm going to be playing the vessel Azra, a statue made in the image of the Buddha himself, who's been around for about, let's see, a century or so actually walking around. He's actually existed for about several centuries now, guarding a little village up in the Himalayas. And now he's just traveling the world trying to figure out what exactly makes a human being,
Am I good?
you know.
Yeah, you're fine.
And to that end, last episode we had here, he took up photography. And he's actually found a decent hobby in it. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, actually.
Classic writer advice is give your characters hobbies. So that's a cool one. I love it. Next up, joining us once again after our one shot last week is Michael.
Yes, I am going to be playing Max King again, the vampire that likes to own clubs in different countries, apparently. This time being in good old Los Angeles in the US of A. He upgraded from a ruby to a sapphire, maybe. Or was it a pearl? It was a pearl.
The pearl, yeah, now you have the
Pearl
sapphire.
to the sapphire.
Maybe the ruby's next.
Perhaps. We never know where that's going to end up, though. But yes, he's just an immortal vampire who was kicked out of Atlantis for doing things he shouldn't have been doing, and to people he shouldn't have been doing himself.
And those things, a little quick spoiler, may come into play in this very episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
More Atlantean
That's
stuff.
something to
I
look
love it.
forward to. Yep. And yeah, that's short and sweet.
All right. Joining us again is Nick.
Yep, that's me. And once again, I'm bringing back Wraith, the wizard who seemed to have gotten his powers from the dark place. Still not entirely sure what about that.
Not a good place.
Well, he knew it was a darker place. At least it was definitely better than the. It was worse than the place that he ended up for living for a long time. So it was the opposite of Shangri-La. So, which in his mind means dark. So.
But now he's in sunny LA.
Yep.
And then, joining us once more, very happy to have him back, it is Patrick.
Hi, I'm playing the interesting Booker Fontaine, the private detective aware who's just trying to make a buck and keep in contact with things going on in the wild that are strange and wild.
And like all detectives, wrapped up in a case.
Of course.
Goes all the way to the top.
And a lot of alcohol. Can't forget that. It's iconic.
I'm going to do a real quick recap here, and then we'll go around and take care of those opening moves as they may be. So, this is, of course, in the form of an article written by Manny the Mole Moulton, tabloid writer extraordinaire.
The mole.
Yes, Manny the Mole. Hey there, cats and kittens, it's Manny the Mole Moulton, alliteration aficionado and supreme scribe of celebrity sin, here for another tattletale tell-all. Hollywood horror met motorized monster mayhem yesterday at the set for Bride of the Werewolf, a cheapy schlockfest from Merle Von Worm's Leviathan Studios. After a visitation from nightlife nabob Max King, lady reporter Lisa Lewis, square-jawed statue Azra, and occultist extraordinaire Wraith, the studio went kablooey. The Wormster showed up, now breathing fire and dolled up as a dragon, but those four troublemakers hot-footed away from his flaming breath and skedaddled. Still, Merle got the last laugh. He extracted occult energy from Woman Out of Time, Goodwife Pruitt, slipped away to Vegas, and left King Azra and Wraith with nothing but a Puritan housefraw turned hellfire-spitting hellion for their trouble. The Wormsters' current residence? None other than the swanky Golden Scale Casino in Las Vegas. Looks like it's all cards on the table for all four heroes. Here's hoping their luck doesn't run out. So with that, let's go around and talk about those opening moves. Patrick, which faction would you like to investigate for yours?
Ooh. That's a good question. I guess I kind of want to keep tabs on the Wild faction, see what's going on, especially as we're heading into territories unknown. Like, what's the Wild situation in Vegas looking like?
Okay.
That's not good for me. That's a 6.
Oh, man.
Like I said, not good.
Ooh. Okay. You'll be unprepared for something the Wild is up to.
Of course.
And Merle, by the way, is technically Wild.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I can just say that I love just Merle, like, leading into the bad streak and just going full out villain. I love it.
Well, I'm happy to, hey. You said he went fully corrupt.
I did.
So he's fully corrupt.
I did. He's loving every moment.
How about Wraith?
Let's check out the nightlife, so to speak.
Alright, I like it.
Can I? Okay, 7.
Hey.
Okay, you could give yourself a prior relationship. They owe you a debt, you owe them a debt with somebody in the Nahual. I would say Miguel Mondragon and El Cadejo are going to appear. So you could say you could say Wraith has a relationship with one of those two. The Nahual being these sort of shape-shifting Mexican and Chicano sort of shamans, shape changers who protect the night from greater threats.
You had to give me a choice.
Of course.
One of them is like a were-jaguar, and the other is a kind of heroic luchador who turns into sort of a monstrous dog.
Yes. Okay.
We can pop back if you'd like.
I feel like he'd be a little fascinated with Mondragon, I think, which I believe is our Jaguar friend. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would say that you're both. He's kind of a sorcerer. You're a sorcerer.
Yeah. So okay.
All right. How about our vampire Max King?
Well, there was a lot of occult things going on last time, so he will try to look into the power regime and see if there's anything that he may have missed, put the feelers out for. And that would be a 8.
Okay. So, let's see. You could say maybe you owe someone in that faction. Maybe you've got like you and Gigi Gaskins, since he's been kind of hanging around. The Sapphire, you have like come to an understanding.
So,
Would that
like
be
me and
good?
Gigi Gaskins owe each other a...
Yeah,
We could owe each other?
that's possible. Or it could be somebody else in power. Gaskins is being a mover and shaker in there, but it could be Jack Parsons as well, the leader.
Could be one of the Parsons.
Well, we just helped Parsons out
Yeah.
when we were taking Goody, right?
hmm
So I'll go with Parsons.
Okay, that makes sense. He is, for now, higher up in the Celestial Society as well. Could be better to owe the leader than a sleazebag like Gaskins. This trio got a kind of a load of him later on, what he becomes.
Yeah.
And then
Fun
I will
stuff.
Use my session move as well. And that would just be to pick somebody in my web and learn a secret about them that they'd rather keep buried.
Okay.
So of all the people in my web, I am going to investigate a little bit more power and learn a secret about Wraith.
Oh. Wraith's got some secrets.
Got many secrets.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but just one. One that you would rather keep hidden.
I mean, I guess sort of. I mean, I guess his sort of. Yeah. The origin of his power, I think, is something that he sort of kept a secret.
Yeah, that's
Sort
kind of
of
what I was
like-
thinking.
Yeah. Like, he still doesn't quite know, but he knows that it's definitely not the power of light, or, like, I guess, good.
Okay.
So, he's still researching that.
All right. And then how about Azra?
Though I'm not exactly sure they belong to a faction, I would like to investigate the squids.
Okay. They're technically wild because they're like
Wild.
demons. Yeah.
Ah. That is a 10.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. You discover that one of the things that the goofballs are excited about is that their theme park, Squidland, is set to open like really soon.
They
That's-
have a theme park.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
So, being extremely popular cartoons, having their own theme park, a temple where they can be worshipped by families from all over the world is a big deal for them.
Oh boy. I'm a 10 plus. I'm prepared for them. So do we have a debt on them? Or was that just useful information?
That was some useful information. Is that okay? Would you
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
that works? Okay. All right. So I will say we're kind of going to start with you guys arriving in Vegas in the Golden Scale Casino. But I will ask this: is there anything you want to bring with you? And then there is another thing you got to worry about. Goody Pruitt. She's out of time. She was hanging around the Sapphire, not particularly happy about being this damaged ale house. But she wants to go there to get revenge on Merle, so she is gonna go there guns blazing. Are you gonna bring Goody Pruitt with you, or convince her to stay? What's your plan vis-a-vis Goody Pruitt?
She is not a very nice lady. If we let her go, she might cause a massacre.
Now, the massacre of the dragon, or just like a general massacre of people?
Of sinners, which
which-
in general means people.
But she's gonna go to Vegas.
A place of sinners,
Yeah.
I'm told.
We can't let her do that.
Mm-mm.
We can't let her go. Unless some crazy talk wants to happen here, I think we're all in agreement.
I think it'd be entertaining.
Well, Max, of course you think it's entertaining. You find a lot of
Perhaps
things
I
entertaining.
would give her that Panzer Fist decoration submachine gun that I have up there. And introduce her to
The modern
the
era.
modern era.
Why would you do such a thing? Like just take a
Again,
swig.
it would be entertaining. We wouldn't be bored.
No, we definitely wouldn't be bored, but we also might be in trouble by being accomplices to mass murder.
It also may.
I don't know about you, immortal, but I'm not.
It may
Well, we can always take
cause
steps to
more
fix
trouble
that.
for
No.
what we're trying to accomplish than we need.
But it could lead to a very good distraction if needed.
Yeah,
We'll just
I
keep
don't
it in
think
the trunk, maybe.
we're not keeping her in the trunk either. That's inhumane.
And also, how would we keep her in the trunk?
Well, I was talking about the machine gun, but
God, it's even worse. Put her in there with the machine gun?
That is just asking for trouble.
I mean, if we're all hell bent on bringing her,
well,
I just don't know how I feel about it.
I just don't see anybody stopping her,
That is very true.
short of killing her.
Short of putting her ass in jail.
And I don't think she survived all this time just to be killed by, well, random people.
I can
Especially ones who took such efforts to save her.
I can talk to Chief Parker, see if he can do anything about keeping her in a witness protection or put her in a jail cell for 24 hours. for her own and public safety. I mean, yeah,
May I talk to her?
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I can do something about this.
All right, so you go talk to her. If you want Chief Parker to help, that'll probably require a hit the streets. Or another move you have, maybe.
I was looking at calling in a debt.
Oh, all right. For a persuade.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Probably,
fair.
But if we're not gonna go that route, I don't want
Okay.
to burn that debt just yet.
Yeah,
But
let's have Azra talk to her.
Yeah, and I do want to hit the streets to try to find something that's capable of killing a dragon,
All
or at
right,
least doing some harm.
we will keep that in mind. So, Azra.
I am going to use absolution on her. A redemption move. Goody Pruitt, why are you so fanatical about your ideals? What is driving you to such rage?
Goody Crude
In all
pauses for
honesty.
a little bit, and she's like, well, that is... I was... A godly society requires all the faithful to feel such rage, and also my beloved husband was stolen away by a wolf, taken into the night and devoured by a devil in the form of a wolf. It's really all I remember. And now in this strange new place, my fanaticism is all I have.
If you would like, I can relieve some of that fanaticism. And I'm going to use absolution on her. Right? And that's cocked.
Oh yeah, super cocked.
And that's not.
Okay.
Hey.
That's a 9
Nice.
so far.
So what's the result?
On a hit, I can
Partial
take
success.
one debt they owe related to their problem, her fanaticism, and take it as my own if I promise to see it through.
Okay. So here's the problem she needs you to solve. She's like, very well. If you wish this is a crusade that I shall not accompany you with, I shall remain here and stand guard over this wretched alehouse. In return, you must slay the dragon who stole away that evil power, the Clipoth, and is using them for his own terrible ways. Find that dragon and slay him.
I believe that was something that might happen in the future. I did not believe it would happen so soon, however. But still, I will do this for you.
Very well. Alright, so she will remain in LA.
Please don't kill anyone while we're away.
I will not make a promise that I intend to. No promises.
I will take it as I can.
Alright, you want to look for a dragon killing weapon.
Yeah, or some sort of information regarding to it. And I kind of want to speak to some of the local hunting groups. Not necessarily the oddity squad, though. If I have to resort to them, I'll resort to them. Excellent. That's a 11.
Whoa, okay. Maybe you get like an elephant gun.
I mean, if that's gonna kill a dragon, then sure. But like, any like, well, I guess I'll take that. I mean, like,
Okay, if you're thinking of something else, like what's
I mean,
with 11, like what you're looking for, you find.
so I'm looking for specifically, like I feel like with a dragon, you need like a sword or something.
Sure, like a St. George's
Yeah,
sword.
like a sword or a spear or some sort of martial, ancient-looking weapon,
Okay,
rather than a gun, because they really weren't invented at that time.
that's fair. All right, yeah, you like maybe you got a friend who's like a museum curator. At let's see, did they have LACMA back then? Sure.
I mean, that's technically modern art, so it's probably just starting.
Oh yeah, modern art. I've seen they have some historical stuff in there, as I recall.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the Getty. But yeah, you were able to secure a dragon slaying blade.
Oof. That is it's a big number right there.
You want to look in the weapon list here? I mean, I would say like maybe holy or like one extra damage to dragons. Probably close, sharp,
3. I mean,
3 harm,
I
yeah,
have a
1
sword
extra
in my
dragon.
gear, It's 3 harm, hand, messy.
Yeah, probably, yeah, definitely messy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, extra +1 to dragons. And yeah, draconic critters. Alright, what are, anything else, any other preparations, or should we get to,
I think Ezra shares she's staying.
Yes, she has agreed to stay, so long as we kill Merle in the end.
Then I will talk to the bartender before she sees him.
Oh, Claggett, yeah.
Mr. Claggett.
Uh-huh.
And if she's going to be staying here, it might not be safe for fellow vampires to hang around the club while this is happening. So I'm going to make some promises here by telling Claggett that I want him to go out into LA for the next few days and lay the groundwork. Finally taking him up on his advice. He said we needed to spread, get some more vampires in tow, and I think that if he goes and lays the groundwork for me, that he will be in a position of power as soon as we're set to strike.
Ooh, alright, he
And
likes
with
that idea.
the promises of power, I'll be using my move Irresistible, making him the promises, and that is going to be Persuade, which one is that? Heart. So 6. So
I mean, for this one, I don't even think he would have to roll. Like, he wants to do this.
he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take that over my
Yeah,
possible.
because I was gonna be like, you don't have to roll for this. If he
Okay.
he takes no convincing. Like, be away from Goody Pruitt,
Be away from Goody Pruitt and help me.
as well as help you. Yeah, and like to build more power. You're speaking Claggett's language.
So how does Claggett feel about Goody Pruitt being here?
Terrified.
She's tried to kill him several times.
I would hope so.
Absolutely, he's like,
Exit stage right.
yeah, he just slips right out there.
Exit pursued by bear.
Absolutely, and gets to safety. But yeah, he'll start laying the groundwork. So, maybe in the future, you can get that vampire kingdom rising up. So, unless anything else you guys want to take care of in LA, you will cut ahead to how you enter the
Amazing.
Golden Scale.
The only thing that comes to mind is seeing if any of the tomes that I have in my sanctum would be useful, would glean useful information on dragons.
Oh, sure.
So we'll see. Nope.
Ah,
Good old Livingston special.
no.
Try to find information about something, just
Yeah, dragons just kind of a blind spot in your research.
My sanctum is always missing something, so that's probably what's missing. So,
Just the whole D in your encyclopedia is gone.
oh man.
Dragons, demogorgons, dwarves, they're just not there.
Apparently nobody gave you the D.
No
We've got
D.
chimeras and elves and
I know.
I do want to hand off the sword
Strange.
to Azra, because I believe you have pretty high blood, don't you?
2 blood, yes.
Better than me, because I have -1.
Oh dear.
Someone give you this sword, hey
Okay.
Azra, I'm not good with melee weapons. I'm more of I pat the revolver. I'm more of a shoot 'em up kind of gal. I think that you would be the most effective with this.
And I am skilled with martial arts.
Good.
Thank you.
I really hope we kill this goddamn dragon, because it's one less thing to worry about.
You realize that when we do kill him, he's going to explode
That's why I have a gun. I'm a long distance person.
in an area. Do not get close to him if he's going to die.
Good to know.
So
That's
you have the
actually
sword?
really good information. I want to
Oh,
pass it on
yeah.
to the rest that they don't know yet.
Oh. So it does say for my Sanctum Sanctorum thing, it says on a miss, I don't have what I'm looking for, but I know someone who probably has it in stock. So
Okay. This being information. I mean, I will say, how about if it's maybe it's Mondragon.
okay.
Like you just said, you kind of had, you met him. You got the debt, so
Yeah.
he's the one who would know more about dragons. Cool. So with that, you guys all pile into. Are you taking separate cars? Or are we zooming in Max King's cool? I'm not sure the exact details of
the Hudson Hornet.
The Hudson. Yes, I remember it was cool.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
I am alright with bicycling there.
Okay, you
We'll
bicycle.
see you in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean you're a fast bicyclist, but it's a long road to.
It's what, 120
It
miles?
is a long road. Is your car able to take about half a ton? I would say.
I brought you here.
I have a pickup truck, so I mean,
That is good.
me
I will
and
be in the
Naz
back.
can road trip it.
I will be in the back.
Cool.
All right, these two cars zoom down the roads, and then you reach that those bright lights of Las Vegas. You can see the big old neon cowboy welcoming you in, and you're zooming down the strip. It's not quite the famous world that the famous. We got some cool music here. It's not quite the Vegas that we know and love just yet. It's still sort of being built up.
I believe it's more of like the old town.
Yes. But it's definitely like the casinos are here. It is very much a gangster-controlled Sin City. And right there at the center is the Golden Scale Casino. So I'll kind of do a quick introduction, giving the layout as you guys enter this massive hotel casino complex. Merle Von Worm has spared no expense when it comes to his casino. Beyond the lobby, the casino floor seems to stretch for miles. Rows of slot machines, card tables topped with gold felt, and countless gamblers tossing away their life savings to enrich Von Worm's hoard. The Lizard Lounge offers an all-you-can-eat buffet so you can fill your stomach while emptying your pockets. A subtle medieval theme prevails with mock-ups of castles in the corner and cocktail waitresses dolled up as fairy tale princesses. But there in the front, pretending to play blackjack, are two familiar figures. Miguel Mondragon sporting a parrot green zoot suit with a jaguar print tie, his fedora shades, handsome features, and a pencil mustache. Next to him is El Cadejo, the famed luchador wrestler, pauses in his cards to sign autographs for fans. The massive Cadejo is never seen without his mask, half white, half black. Both spot you coming in.
Cool.
So, enter the casino, you spot these two familiar figures. What do you do?
Well, I don't think I'm familiar with them, so I would, if I could put a face to a name for the luchador, because that one sticks out more. I mean, obviously Zoot Suit, Peregrine, Zoot Suit also sticks out.
Put a mask to a name.
Yeah, can I do it for both of them, kind of a general one, or one or the other?
Yeah, I mean, in the interest of time, let's do you just roll for both. This includes Mondragon and El Cadejo.
Nope, I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Is there any way to help with that?
Yeah, I'll say so. You can maybe you've been around, so you've heard of these guys. You kind of pass the information over, jog his memory.
All right. So, what's your faction? Mortality.
Yeah, mortality.
This is a -3.
Oh boy,
4. Dang.
you are unhelpful. You don't know anything.
Okay.
I think that one's wearing a wrestling mask. Would you like to know the culture behind it? It's very interesting.
I'm fine. I know a bit, but yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so Wraith, Mondragon is actually kind of beckoning you.
You know,
We've met on occasion.
you could have said something.
I felt like I don't know him as well as most, so
Okay.
it's been a recent venture. So.
All right, so
Okay.
Mondragon is like, why don't we stop by the Lizard Lounge and we can talk?
Very well, Mr. Mondragon.
Are your friends trustworthy?
Of course. They have saved me on multiple occasions.
We'll see. And he is El Cadejo, kind of follow you guys in. You get to the little more private, kind of a private booth in this buffet saloon area.
Is this the so-called Den of Sin?
It's a den of sin.
One of them, yes.
Probably more like a lair, really.
A lair of sin.
A lair of sin.
Home City is the city of sin, Mondragon says.
Of course.
Well, this particular owner is very particular.
I've
Looking
heard,
around.
and I've heard you four had some run-ins with him.
A few.
Party in Malibu, and then a little
Great night.
a showdown at his film studio that ended up in flames.
It seems everywhere we go, he's there.
Nitrate film does that.
Yes.
In our defense, both times, he's the one that's lit everything on fire.
He tends to do that.
I agree. A dragon always starts fires to protect his horde. And he's got a big one. Right here in the casino vault.
It's definitely grown since I originally met him.
Oh, you knew Merle back when?
Way back when,
Nice.
as some might say.
Everybody knows Merle except for me.
He's a very old creature.
Very old.
I would assume so as a dragon, probably immortal in some way.
He seems to reincarnate himself over the years.
This Merle's different than the one we first met.
A little bit, yes.
Well, if you know him well, maybe you can assist me and Kadejo here,
Well,
because
yes.
he leans in closer. We're gonna rob this joint.
Yes. So in.
Interesting.
So we are sinning.
But when you steal from someone who steals, isn't really stealing.
Take for the rich, give to the poor kind of deal.
And I have heard that it is the nature of humans, the sin.
Besides, if you're looking for what he stole from that old Puritan woman, maybe he's got it in the vaults. Pretty secure, probably the most secure place in Vegas.
Quite possibly. That would make sense.
Well, there's a few things. Me and Kadejo got everything prepared. He's even got the mask, of course, though. He might wear a mask over his mask.
I would hope it's very iconic.
It is. So we'll figure out. We'll figure out the right ways to hire identity when the actual robbery begins.
Of course.
If there's any equipment you particularly need, maybe you could ask and we'll get it for you. But in the meantime, there is something you can do. Because, well, Kadejo's strong and silent type, and me, I'm just not a people person. This town is run by one man, Bugsy Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel.
Yes.
Can I put a face to a name on that?
Yes.
Right.
You can roll mortality for that.
Dang it.
Oh yeah, that bad. Oh no.
That's a 0.
Oh, the
I would
zero.
roll to assist, but I don't think that'll help.
Yeah, that's no good. You've never heard of
I
him.
could give it a shot.
I was also gonna say, could also try to give it a shot.
Yeah,
I've got a 2 in mortality, so.
that's fair.
Please, by all means.
Hey,
There we go, 12.
Good.
Whoa, alright, you've met him before when he popped by into LA. Maybe he swung by one of the Celestial Society's parties and made your acquaintance.
It's possible.
Yeah, he is a short-tempered, notorious gangster. Kind of a wild card that the American organized crime community has sent to Las Vegas to run the city.
I mean, having a wild card in your hand is always good.
Sometimes.
Well, we need this wild card in our hand. Bugsy Siegel has to know about the heist and okay it, or we'll never leave the city alive. We'll end up in the desert in one of those holes.
Now the question is, how good of terms are Bugsy and Mr. Von Worm?
Thankfully, not that good.
That's good. That's good for us, actually.
Siegel, he sees himself as the king, and a kingdom can't have two kings.
Very true.
No, we're king and a dragon.
King and a dragon also do not get along.
Usually.
So, you swing by the Flamingo, see if you can get an audience with him. You may have to get through Virginia Hill, Siegel's girlfriend, confidant, and even a courier to the boys back east. Miss Hill, she's a piece of work.
How can we get in contact with her? She also be there?
Yeah, they never leave the Flamingo. If you go and ask around, you should be able, maybe mention that it's worth their while. You should be able to get an audience.
Okay, I mean, I'm down for this.
Seems promising.
If it helps further our goals, I am with it.
Okay, so, Kadejo and Mondragon will go and start getting the supplies ready. You guys all heading to the Flamingo?
I guess.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, so...
Can I stop and get a bottle of gin?
Oh, you don't even have to ask.
Cool.
Why do you drink so much?
Pop it open. Just stare right at as we're driving. Take a drink, put it away.
I mean, I'm asking, legitimately asking you an invasive action. Is it just part of being human?
No. I mean, coping with the awful things that exist in this world. I mean, the squids, for example. Those things, yeah, those are giving nightmares constantly still.
So
But
you...
just like the existence of, I don't say monsters, that sounds really messed up, but I don't have a better word, but monsters. No offense to you. Or and then magic, of course, like all that fun stuff. Like, how does a normal human cope or even comprehend these sort of things that just are incomprehensible?
So you need to do something to take your mind off of it.
Yeah, or at least put my mind onto something else. So either I throw myself into work or I throw myself into booze. Sometimes both at the same time. Definitely not healthy. But what are you gonna do?
That is an interesting point.
A workaholic and an alcoholic.
Unfortunately, I can't drink, so I must find another coping mechanism. I do have photography.
Well, to say, like, what, do you have a hobby or something?
Yes. It's
That'll
quite
help.
nice.
Yeah, my hobby is finding things, investigating things, and exposing people. So
Alright, so I feel
it's
you
also my
answered-
job.
So I feel you answered truthfully. I marked redemption.
Yes.
Okay.
Booker is a open book.
So, you guys pull up at the Flamingo. A little bit, more of a tropical theme than the Golden Scale. How are you guys going to get Bugsy Siegel's attention?
That's a very good question.
Although I had to mark corruption because of my moment of intimacy is when I have one with someone who is not mortal. Mark corruption.
Oh,
So interacting and have that moment of intimacy was worse for
man.
me.
You get redemption and corruption.
Yep. I guess we could just knock on the door. Knock on the door, not down the door. Let's be clear about this.
You're just
I'm
kinda-
assuming you're clarifying to him.
Fine for all of us, clearly.
Pulls
Yeah.
back his fist real quick. It's like,
Siegel's office is up there, like on the top floor, so you can find your way up there.
I guess we're just gonna go to the concierge. It just says, can we point in the direction of a Miss Virginia Hill?
And he's like, well, if you proceed upstairs to the office and give your name to her, she's not technically Mr. Siegel's secretary, but she sort of handles his comings and goings.
Right. Any amenities here that we should know about before we head on upstairs? Maybe we can stop on our way out.
What was that?
Any amenities, spas, bars?
Well, of course, the Flamingo promises a full bar.
Excellent. Sold me.
Doesn't take much.
Not wrong.
So you guys head up. There is there's an outside office, and then big double doors leading to Siegel's place. Everything's in a very sleek Art Deco style, super sparse, lots of smooth lines, big old fancy clock over there at the top, and Virginia Hill, a striking woman, like dark brown hair, wearing your classic Vegas evening gown. Even though is behind the desk just doing some paperwork, well dressed even for that. And as you come in, she looks up. She looks at you, Max King, and you realize that you recognize her from way back. This is that Atlantean princess that you once fed on and cursed.
Oof.
ooh, boy.
Oof.
Did I mention they didn't let me back in?
Apparently didn't let her either.
And I'm assuming I remember her name.
Well, she's probably cool Atlantean lame.
All right.
She looks straight at you. She's going by Virginia now. Or Miss Hill, perhaps.
Awkward.
Yeah, she just glares straight at you. There's like a moment of recognition. She knows as well, but she doesn't say anything. And she's just like, gentlemen, Come on in. What can I do you for?
Hi, yes, I'm Jesse Fontaine. I'm a private investigator, private detective, I guess.
Well, pleased to meet you, honey.
Nice to meet you, Miss Virginia Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you. And we're here trying to seek an audience with Bugsy Siegel.
Oh.
We have some information as part of my being a private detective. I want to present to him.
Oh, all right.
I might be
Well,
interested.
Bugsy, let me tell you a little secret about Bugsy. He's a man got a lot going on. I don't like him to worry his head about things that shouldn't worry him. So how about you just tell little old me and I'll decide if you're worthy of going on in.
Let's just say it involves one particular purple-cladded individual who runs a really gaudy establishment in the center of Las Vegas.
Well, I'm interested. However, company you keep. Honey,
Look at them.
It doesn't speak well for you. And she's looking at Max as she says this.
Sorry, I assume that you might have prior engagements with Mr. King here.
Oh, is that what he's calling himself?
Yes.
Ooh, I feel like I stepped on something right there.
This seems very awkward.
Yeah.
Should we be here?
Should we vacate the room?
She's like, I'll tell you what, why don't you just sit here and relax for a few more minutes while me and Mr. King have a private conversation. If that's okay with you, Mr. King.
That is perfectly fine by me. You'll take a flask out and hand it to to Booker.
I pulled the other bottle of gin from my pocket and opened them both.
She draws you aside, and she kind of drops the Southern Charm Act, and she's like, "What are you doing here?"
Well, I've been trying to seek redemption for what I did to you, and perhaps fate has put you in my way, so that I could finally fix. I was, as you know, I was booted from it. I was kicked out of Atlantis, and I can't return until I've righted my wrongs. So that is what I've been doing for the past half a century.
And how's that working out for you? You righting any wrongs lately?
Well, I have. So I did quite a bit of work in Germany with when there was what they called a cleansing going on. I was able to get a few of what they seemed were not the right type of people. I was able to secure a lot of safety for them and theirs.
Well, that's
At
something.
a great personal cost to my own.
Human lives, I've seen them come and go. They're interesting, but they flicker out so fast. She paused for a few minutes, and she's like, "You were cast out, but you had a choice. After what you made me, I was cast out too."
If I could take it back, I would.
Well, that means a lot. What are you, but let's... Part of me wants to let bygones be bygones, but only the part that tells me to keep moving forward. I've got sort of a good thing going on with Bugsy Siegel. Basically, he runs Vegas, and I run Bugsy. So what are you here for?
Well, as Miss Fontaine added, we are here to deal with a certain individual, old acquaintance, Merle.
Ah, Von Worm.
Yes.
Yeah,
There is a plan in motion that will strike at his, I guess, safe for it. I'll strike him where it really counts. His gold, his hoard, his vault. That is what we're here to work in.
And I suppose you want Bugsy's okay, or his assistance even?
Yes. To use one of the modern terms, you don't walk into someone's house and reach into the refrigerator without first greeting the person.
That's fair. And I am a fan of refrigerators. Wish we had those in Atlantis. but I'm gonna need something in return, especially since it's you. What, why don't you do this? What can you do for me?
Is there anything you need taken care of that you and Bugsy cannot be attached to?
She's thinking for a little bit, and she's like, well, let me just tell you this. I'm like you. I know there's others, maybe not exactly alike, but there's all these great power structures. And I know you, even from back then, you were interested in building your own. So what are you doing over there? Where are you hanging your hat these days?
Los Angeles.
Ah. And something tells me you're not just shining shoes over there.
No.
You're building something.
Things have been put into play. Hopefully they will come to fruition soon.
I want in.
That will not be an issue.
Well, in that case, I think you got yourself a deal. Alright, so you can mark down that, I guess you owe her a debt, because the agreement is she's going to have a place in the vampire organization you were making. Alright, so she walks back and she's, returns to the Virginia Hill kind of sharp, the southern accent there, and she's like, well, me and Mr. King, we're getting along just real nice. Now, would you guys like to go and we can see Bugsy?
There was a lot.
Sure.
There was a lot less yelling than I thought there would be.
Well, we're civilized.
Well, I'm surprised.
Oh, we're so
I'm
civilized.
surprised he's back in one piece. I would imagine at least some piece is missing or removed for the time being.
Only on the inside, darling. Now you come along, and don't you pay Siegel no mind. He can, I love him, but he's got himself a bit of a temper.
Okay. I'm gonna hand back the flask to Max because I have my own bottle of gin.
So as you come in, you enter the office. Very big. Siegel is just like sort of pouring himself a drink. He is a good-looking, pinstripe attired, very dapper individual, despite his kind of his perhaps criminal past. And he, as you come in, he's like, Virginia, baby, I'm trying to have a little private time here. You bringing these four in? Come on.
I motion for the bottle of gin in my hand.
Oh, and what's this? You're bringing outside boozing to my place, huh?
It's a present. Something we both can enjoy.
Oh,
as
so
we
we
talk
both
business.
So what you're saying is that the stuff that I sell in my establishment isn't good enough for you and me, so you got to come over here insulting me, bringing in this paint varnish here.
How do you know I didn't get from downstairs?
So you're trying to give me my own booze as a gift. Unbelievable.
I mean-
Rather have your own booze.
Yeah, maybe I would, huh? Anyway, what do you want?
We come here with a proposition.
Oh, a proposition. Oh, Miss Fancy Pants over here. Use that kind of phrase in finishing school? Jesus Christ. All right, what do you want?
What I'd want is the name of your tailor.
He's like, a compliment, see? You could learn something from this guy.
Okay.
My tailor is a secret. I'm not telling you. I don't want anybody looking as good as this.
Well, I was going to share the secret to my haberdashery, but I had to leave my hat downstairs.
Always leaving wanting more, huh? All right, so what do you guys want?
So, I guess I'll talk. So, we would like to strike against, I think I would like to say, generally a common enemy of ours, one particular Merle von Worm.
Merle von Worm.
Yeah.
He like throws his shot glass against the wall and breaks it.
That's a waste of a good glass, sir.
You saying I can't afford more glasses?
I
You
don't.
call me a schnook? Is this the hi hat?
I don't know what a snook is.
Well, it's someone who can't afford glasses. I got a whole drawer of these things. He picks another one and throws it on the wall and breaks that. See, I do it just to punctuate my sentences here.
Can I also
Because I'm living large.
That is mighty fine, and that is a power move, might I say. That just to be able to just toss glasses at random people, excellent.
Thank you. Anyway, Merle, just talk about it makes me do that. I hate that Texan bastard.
Yes,
coming in here
so we-
spreading his oil money around. Vegas is mine, you hear me?
Yes, that's exactly what we hear, and that's why we want to go against Merle. We want to hit him where it hurts. Take his money.
And kill him.
Kill him, yes.
Ah,
That is
well.
not necessarily the main point of this moment of what we're doing. That is more of a added bonus for the rest of us.
So Virginia goes over to him and she combs his hair back and kind of like calms him down, And she's like, honey, these folks are serious. They might look a little odd, but I can vouch for them. I say like they're gonna do it whether we help them or not. But if we do, could be a nice little bonus for us. So somebody can roll to persuade with, I'll say a +2.
Who has the most heart?
I have a 1.
I have -2.
What do you got?
I have a 1, but I'm also irresistible. So
Do you
anything over 7 is counted as a 10 plus.
Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, so you got 0, Nick.
I'm already in a better position with this individual. You should please go ahead and do this.
So I can try.
Alright, so what are the specific words you say to Seagull?
Well, he wants Vegas. Vegas is rightfully his. All we're doing is attempting to secure that Vegas stays in his hands and not that of Merle's. We're going to make his oil money no good here.
Ooh, alright.
So
You get an extra +2 because of Virginia.
good, because that'll help. Because that was a 5, and a +2 makes it a 7, which is treated as a 10 plus.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Alright, well.
It's an 8.
Oh, 8? Well, still, yeah. Still 10 plus.
He thinks about it for a little and he's like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot to add that.
well,
Yeah.
Virginia here, I love her and her judgment, her intuition is top notch. So, she vouches for you. I'll provide the assistance. I will say, I will okay this, and I'll make sure we have a nice little getaway car ready wherever you end up.
Excellent.
Maybe Miss Hill herself can drive it.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, now it's me time. So, out.
Right on.
Is it true you never leave this building?
What was that?
I
You saying I'm not good enough to leave this building?
let's get out of here, please. Sorry for taking up any more of your time. We appreciate it.
All right. So as you usher out, Hill's like, "Well, that's Bugsy. Gotta." Well, she has that southern accent. I guess you just gotta love him.
He is very red in the face.
Yeah, and she leans a little closer and she's like, "Let me tell you something. Bugsy's made himself a lot of enemies. And this girl, well, Mr. King knows this, but I've been treated badly in the past. It's not happening again. If Bugsy goes down, which is seems very likely, I won't be going with him."
I would imagine that you wouldn't. You seem like a very savvy individual.
Yeah. So just keep in mind that from things that I've heard, well, he runs Vegas for now, but now ain't forever.
Well, as long as it's away from Merle, all the better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll leave that in your capable hands.
And just remember, when things break, you can always pick up the pieces and make something better.
Like all those glass shards in his
I was gonna make a joke about that too. I
He's got like a pile of them in there.
can swear.
Oh man. Bugsy
As-
Siegel,
as-
R.I.P. Yeah. No, he was a pretty horrible person.
I bet.
Yeah. All right. So, with that, you guys pop back to the Golden Scale, and I will say outside, you find maybe kind of like around the corner in the alley, in like kind of a panel truck or a panel van. Now they have those back then. You know, work car.
Yeah.
Work car.
They had vans like that.
Yes.
Yeah, panel
Yeah.
vans are...
A panel
Been around
van.
for a long time.
Yes. Mondragon and El Cadejo are like getting ready. They're both wearing like other luchador masks.
Oh, do we get to wear one as well?
Yeah, they have like a whole assortment there of just different colors and styles to throw on there to hide your identities. And is there any like? I mean, they got pretty much weaponry, like smoke bombs. Is there any like gear in particular that you think you would have asked them to find for you guys?
Well, I think
Something.
maybe since I know that Mondragon has knowledge of dragons, maybe he might know some sort of like weakness, or if in case we need it, or any sort of useful information.
Yeah, he tells you he's like, all right. So from what I know, dragons are all about fire. So if you want to fight them, you got to throw around some ice.
Interesting.
That kind of stuff might stop them. Also, watch out for the pit bosses when we move in.
Interesting.
This place is guarded. We're pretty tough, so you watch yourselves.
Could I have asked for a flak jacket? 'Cause I have no armor and I'm a squishy mortal.
Yes, they will get you a flak jacket. So
Ooh.
we'll give you an armor.
Put on my coat.
Okay.
One of the masks with just 2 big fangs, just
Ooh.
right on the nose.
Awesome. You pull on that cool mask.
El Santo is around this era, right? The 50s?
Yeah, I think that's when he was first coming around.
Could I get a mask just like his?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they got some El Santo masks in there.
I'm just gonna
This
get
is
a
It's
plain
like
black
extra
mask.
size to fit on your kind of big stone head.
I enjoy his movies a lot.
Look, in this universe, the El Santo movies are probably like documentaries. He's out there fighting, the Aztec robot or vampire women, all kinds of stuff.
I'm just gonna get a all black or all leather mask and just toss that on.
Strange masks, but okay.
It's fine.
I mean,
You're used to them.
yeah. I guess if my veil doesn't quite work, it could come in handy.
All right.
Grabbing it.
What's a good heist without a mask?
Boring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a heist, but it's not a good one.
So,
I've never been part of a heist. This should be exciting.
Yeah, they could be kind of interesting.
with that, I'm gonna channel.
Mhm.
So, let's see what I get. It's a 9. Okay. Oh boy.
I do, as soon as we step in the building, I do want to use one of my abilities as an aware. I want to kind of case the place as soon as we're walking in, before everything breaks loose, to do a little bit of snooping.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you roll that one?
It's a 7, so hold 1. Who or what here is not what they seem?
Okay. Yeah, it's those the pit bosses who are kind of the guards here.
Mm-hmm.
They are these big, bulky, square-shouldered, bow-tied individuals. And as they're walking around, you notice there is something about their skin. They're all hairless, all a bunch of bald guys. But their skin, as you look a little closer, you realize it's like scales.
Would you say that they're more like Golem-esque?
Maybe not necessarily golems, more draconic. There's a reptilian scales that are on their skin.
What are they? I relay that information to them, hey, yeah, watch out for a good reason. They're not human.
All right, so
Not certain what they are.
Mondragon says, so here's the plan as I see it. Me and Kadejo, we'll make a distraction, get everyone's attention. What you guys got to do is get down to the vaults. You have a pretty big door. We got some explosives that can take care of it, or maybe you got something, but you got to get through the door, and then once you're in there, scoop up what loot you can. I'll send Kadejo down to get it, and we'll make our way out, and then you guys can hopefully find out what you're looking for and get out as well.
Cool. What's our cut looking like?
100% of money for us, and you get whatever weird magical essence you're looking for. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
Works for you?
Yes.
All right.
I was hoping for a little bit of cash, but that's fine.
Okay, I'll give you $10.
Deal.
That is a little bit.
A little bit of cash.
Better yet, when we're all safe and down, buy me a drink.
It's a deal. All right. Anything else before the heist goes off? Oh, Ezra.
I wonder, can I take a picture of like where we're going?
Like of the casino?
Yeah. Let's take a picture of the casino, but I'm going to use machinist with my camera.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Are you just like trying to do like a fun picture, or is there another goal here?
There's a hidden purpose for it.
Okay.
Yes. So
Nice.
That's really good. So you
is
probably
a
achieve
10.
that.
So I get to ask too.
Okay.
I take a picture of the casino with my camera, and I ask it, what secrets are hidden here, friend?
Ooh, I like it.
Like, it prints out a picture, and that's like everything.
Yeah. Maybe it's a hidden secret that you discover is that maybe the camera takes it so it's like an X-ray kind of, and you see that in the vaults, which are in the basement area, there's actually a tunnel like leading away.
So he has an escape tunnel.
Some kind of secret passage. Yeah.
Alright. Also, how can I get you to reveal the combination to the vault, Conrad?
Oh, you're calling your camera Comrade?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Comrade camera.
Comrade camera. You have to do this move like on the vault itself.
Alright. But there is something there. I
Yeah.
believe I can get the door open.
I mean, that's technically a
cool.
machine, so.
Let's get some explosive just in case. You never know when you're gonna need those.
All right, Mondrigan will give you some dynamite there.
And before we go in, can I? Or this is we've been to this place already.
Yeah, we've been here a little bit.
Okay, never mind then. Good.
All right, I think it's time. So, you guys all come inside with the masks on. Mondragon first just takes a pistol and fires it in the air, freaking everybody out, and just get on the ground. This is a robbery. We're just here for the casino's money. Don't move. And this will all be over very soon. Just a great story to tell the grandkids. And then El Cadejo makes it even better by transforming into a giant, like bear-sized black dog.
That's dope.
So at this point, while their distraction is going on, those pit bosses start to change. There's maybe like a half dozen of them, and they start like letting the dragon out. So they're starting to transform into kind of maybe like a Dragonborn in Dungeons and Dragons could be a fair similar description. These like humanoid dragon men who are charging in. They don't have firearms, but they have like heavy claws, and a lot of them are breathing fire. All of them are like fire and flames coming out of their mouths. What do you guys do?
Oh dear.
Is there any sort of like chandelier nearby?
Oh yeah, Merle has invested in a very gaudy chandelier.
I'm gonna draw my pistol, try to blow one of those down onto some of those individuals.
Okay, I would say this is a. I mean, are you trying to hurt them with this, or mislead, distract, or trick?
Ooh,
Could be a let it out as
probably
well.
mislead, distract, or trick.
Okay, I like that.
Trying to
I'm not-
divert their attention.
Yeah. Wow. I am rolling like terrible tonight. That's not gonna be enough. That's a 6.
Oh dear. Unless somebody helps you.
Oh yeah, that's right on the edge.
Somebody would like to help me out here?
Sure.
Okay, Wraith, how are you assisting?
I would say I sort of
Use a
find.
magical wind to help him aim.
I'm struggling to get my gun out of my holster.
Like, let me
Been drinking
magic
too much.
that with
No,
you.
I bet it, yes.
Yeah, it's. I've
Been drinking steadily since Los Angeles. Mortality.
10.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, with a 7, you can pick 2.
I'm going to create opportunity for the rest of the party, and I'm going to avoid further entanglement.
Nice. Okay. So you fire, the chandelier falls down, smashes like in front of the dragons, the dragon men. You have a space of some time that you can make it to, the doorway that's leading downstairs to the vault.
Well done.
Right on. Thanks.
Good work.
Wasn't all me. It wasn't all me. Let's keep on going.
Okay, you guys open the door there. You're like dashing down, and you see that unfortunately there was another trap on the way. More of those, like glass bubbles filled with dragon fire that are kind of like mines. One of those has been set in the hallway, so they're blocking your path.
Oh dear. This wasn't on the schematics.
Yes. So, could I sort of flavor a shield to sort of like surround it and sort of contain the blast, if possible. So
Okay,
I don't know if that would constitute like a roll or something.
Yeah, why don't you do a let it out, and we'll see the extent of it working.
Darn. So it's not an unleash. Boo. That's fine.
It's still plus spirit.
It's true. Listen for
Nice.
Okay. Yes, that's a 12.
Whoa. Okay, I would say it works perfectly.
Awesome.
Anyone have conduit?
No.
Oh, I know. It could get to where you unlock the, or we could get to advanced move maybe if with the 12 plus.
Yeah, no. No, we don't have an oracle with us.
Ah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So yeah, 10 plus, I guess. Yeah, so definitely taking a definite hold of something. Vulnerable
Yeah.
or exposed. And then, I ignore the corruption. Awesome.
Oh.
Or I could choose another from the list.
But and get corrupt.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's extend my senses and see if I can sort of sense any sort of other traps, like mystical or otherwise.
Okay. I will say with this, it's more what you find is like what isn't there, and that is the magical aura of a powerful dragon. So like Merle has left the building, or Merle is not in this particular building.
Great.
Interesting.
There will be no killing of Merle today.
Well,
Unfortunately.
not in this particular building.
No, he seems to be elsewhere.
Well, that's actually kind of a relief. Don't have to deal with a dragon on our escape route.
Oh yes, but he may be enacting his own plan.
It's a dragon we're talking about. I mean, everybody's enacting plans. I mean, vampires, werewolves, all that other bullshit. I mean, let's be honest.
Very true.
Nobody's not enacting plans.
Supernatural always has an agenda of their own.
I don't have a plan.
No, like, humans have agendas of their own too. I mean, let's be honest.
I feel like I should be offended. Are you
No.
offended?
No. Not at all.
He's a vamp. What do you expect?
Eh.
No offense, Max.
So
None taken.
up ahead, you see that vault door. In about the entirety of the wall, big circular vault, like the combination and everything.
Click. Can I ask a question now?
Well, I would say like the camera is not gonna be able to open the door, but you can do machinist on the vault itself.
That is a better idea than what I had.
I like the camera though. The
Good.
camera's pretty dope.
So I'll touch the vault door and see if I can get it to reveal its secrets. No, that's a 5. Dang.
Oh no. Okay.
It doesn't like me very much.
Yeah, I mean the vault's job was to stay locked, and that's what it's doing.
It doesn't want any of us to be here. In fact, it is very angry.
Good thing I have dynamite.
Yes,
Well-
blow it up.
Oh.
It's saying very mean things to me.
I thought you were just gonna smash it. I was very.
I mean, you
surprised
also
when
want to try to smash it?
Just
I mean,
touched it, but
he's stone versus metal. I don't know how well that's going to turn out.
We can always see. Alright, I'll tear it down.
Well, I'm gonna say, how do I do with that?
Oh,
good.
my bad. Did you want to... Should I
Yeah,
start
I will say like as you're starting to do this, you guys hear pounding footsteps, and 2 of those dragon pit bosses are like charging down the hallway to come at you.
Well, that's great. I got an 11.
Okay, you take down the vault door.
Can I throw the vault door at the charging guys?
Oh, I want you to do this cool thing. I'll tell you what. Roll unleash an attack, and we'll see how it goes.
Alright. 6, 8.
Goes reasonably well.
Okay, so you're hitting with the vault door.
Yep.
You want to do terrible harm or take something from them.
Terrible harm.
Okay, I would say this will like totally destroy one of them, or just crush them under the metal. Do you want to? You take some harm, or you find yourself
see,
in a bad
that's
spot.
more what I was expecting.
Let's see. I'll take
Valid.
some harm, yeah.
Okay. I will say, yeah, you managed to drop one of them. Are you thinking like you throw it like a discus style?
Yeah. Something like this.
Okay, it like hits him in the gut. He breathes out a gout of fire, which scorches you for 1 level of harm.
Ow.
Yeah, even your stone skin doesn't like being seared. Okay. There's one more of these guys. In fact, he is letting out a burst of fire. I'm gonna say Booker, and let's have... Actually, let's have all 3 of you guys really keep your cool, and we'll see how you can handle it. No?
4.
Okay.
These dice are gonna kill me.
9.
Okay. I would say if you...
7.
7? You 2 both take 1 level of harm, which is like, minor burns. You unfortunately... Well, you had the armor.
I have the flak jacket, but I also have dynamite.
Ooh. Alright, give me a keep your cool.
Dynamite,
Oh, wait, you
dynamite.
already did. You already did. Okay, I will say this. No. Which you already failed. So
Yep.
here's what happens.
I feel badly.
You are scorched. You are on fire. Thankfully, the dynamite was in your hands, and you dropped it. Unthankfully, the fuse
We're lit.
hits your coat and is currently ablaze and falls at your feet. So you take 1 level, because of the armor, you take 1 level of faint harm. The armor is gone. And now there is a burning bundle of dynamite at your feet.
Oh dear.
Great.
What do?
What
So
do?
we're in combat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we rolling
And
initiative?
I have to get my
Oh.
my moves. I get to
Yes.
choose.
I'll
nice.
say we're not...
Or
Not quite there.
Yeah, because I'd be like, the goal list was just to, like, get through, so it's
Okay.
not... I mean, it's... You can still roll that if you want, but there will be a chance to do that whole initiative thing we do a little later, so that's coming up.
this is whenever he goes into battle.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
And this is battle.
So
Alright, so what's the plan here? We got a burning bundle of dynamite ticking
Well,
down here.
I'm gonna
I
kick it.
have a move here in which I can. Well, I pick up the dynamite and chuck it right at the bad guy because spending 1 hole to kill, disable, or disarm an NPC within reach.
Alright.
With those vampire reflexes.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm gonna let you do it.
Right in
Maybe,
the mouth.
maybe it goes like right into his dragon mouth. Just and then he blows up. It's very Big Trouble in Little China, if you know.
Yeah, I
Reflexes,
immediately
right?
vomit after seeing that sight.
Yeah, it's a really gross. There's like dragon scales everywhere. But now, yeah, maybe Azra gets splattered. But now, the way is clear, and you took down the vault door, so it is open.
Alright.
Gonna start throwing money in the bags.
Okay, so as you expected, several shelves stacked with cash. There's a few other cool treasures that if someone wanted to do like a let it out, they could maybe
Or maybe-
locate something cool.
Would it be maybe investigate place of power?
Yeah, that'd be a way to like find a hidden,
Sure.
interesting artifact here. There's another interesting thing too. I'll just say that before you guys roll this to look around. Is that there is the escape, the passage, not an escape, but the secret passage you noticed here is like it's actually a little like kind of underground railway with like a little car in it, a motorized, not even that little, but like a motorized little vehicle. You can go in, it zooms down, heading like into this this tunnel.
That could be an escape route.
I have a very
in the
terrible
distance.
feeling about that, personally.
Yeah.
There is also no sign of the Clipoth in here, just money and maybe some other artifacts.
Probably down the tunnel into his actual lair.
Yes.
So let's investigate.
Yes.
While they investigate, I'm just gonna start putting money in the bags.
Okay,
So what would it be? It'd be with
with wild, yeah.
Okay.
In that case, I'll just.
Are you gonna?
I'm gonna take a picture of the place. Again.
Okay, maybe I'll let you use that machinist to investigate.
5, 7,
bad.
9. Just ask one.
I
Nick,
got
want to go
a-
first?
I got a 6.
Dang.
All right, you aren't able to find anything.
I will investigate the place of power as well. Investigate is. Why? I've just had it. So. Faction that owns it. Oh, good.
Wild.
That will be a 8.
Okay, so I would say you two were able to find like one artifact from Merle's hoard you can keep.
What secrets are hidden here, friend?
Yeah, maybe like the secret you find is the location of this item. So you can kind of I'll sort of leave it up to you. Like, what do you think would be a cool weapon or tool that has ended up in Merle? You can always ask. We got Merle here.
Yeah, you do.
We can do the old.
Take something back that he gave to
Oh,
a hunter.
I like
gave
that.
it to
Yeah.
Merle. And that would be
The
that
sword?
axe,
Oh yeah,
The axe, the giant, the Jotun axe.
the Jotun axe that
Ice
he was
axe.
so afraid of.
That's true.
Ooh.
Yeah,
All right, you find that ice axe.
What was it that Merle had that he really liked?
Literally everything.
I mean,
He's
had that
real
sword
mad.
That he had the sword that he got back from
Indigo Fang.
the Indigo Fang. That was
She keeps on this person.
yeah. Oh, he
It
keeps
wouldn't
that on
keep
his
one of
person.
those
Yeah.
shards
He
here.
keeps his armor.
does not
on his
keep any of the
person.
shards.
Oh man,
Yeah.
The shards.
that
are
would have been a
actually in
good.
his-
That would have been a good thing to look for.
The shards are in his lair. If he keeps them anywhere hidden, it's in one of his lairs.
After all, then he could undo what he did to the princess. But
Yeah.
means to an end. Means to an end.
So what else would he have?
I mean,
Well-
yeah, a lot of stolen memorabilia.
What was the name of the axe? I forgot already.
It was the Jotun axe. Yeah.
Dang. Wrapping my brain around this. Can't think of anything.
All right, we can always come back. I mean, we have maybe if we want to, we can do the old. Is Merle with us today?
Merle can be with you wherever you want.
Yeah, the classic inside the actor studio.
I mean, if you're looking for ideas of what might be in his hoard here, in his, I guess a secondary hoard, not his main one. You probably find a couple of old-looking spears. Probably some stuff related to Shangri-La. Probably Atlantis as well, since it's been a number of years since.
I never did get to go into Shangri-La.
Oh, maybe it's like a Shangri-La style.
It's possible to get a shawl from one of the monks in Shangri-La.
Yeah, something from your home. Something from, pretty close to your homeland, actually.
This would actually be nice. A shawl from Shangri-La.
Okay. And you can think about what kind of magical power this shawl has.
Righto.
All right.
Give me a look there. Very straight.
You throw on the shawl. Well, we'll see what happens to Ray. So, as you throw on the shawl here, you hear pounding footsteps. It is Mondragon coming down and being like,
Money.
yeah, it's like, all right, pass up the
I'm
sacks.
throwing the sacks over because I've been packing this entire time with it, looking about.
Okay, he's like throwing them on. He's actually like kind of transformed a bit himself into this were-jaguar form.
Dope.
He's got the fur, big like claws coming out. He's sort of well, he's keeping him sheathed for now to handle the sacks of money.
Makes sense.
But he's like kind of just throwing them up down the hallway, but to the stairs while Kadeja was waiting. And he's like, "All right, we got the car waiting for us. You guys coming along, or?"
We seem to need to go further.
Yeah, we got some unfinished business. We'll find another way.
Okay, I'll pass the message over to Bugsy Siegel. See about getting you out of here.
Thanks, we appreciate that.
All right, no problem. And hey, when I said the $10, that wasn't fair on me. This was, you guys took the hits, you took the risk. You're entitled to some of the profits as well.
Sure, I would appreciate that. I'm on
All
the rest
right.
of them.
I'm fine.
Gotta always use the money.
He's already lining his pockets with
Yeah.
money.
What are you talking about?
Money has no object value to me.
Cool, I guess it's really
Well,
just
you can
me
spend
and
it
Max
on
then.
this.
We'll get away
can't
share.
drink.
Always appreciate a man of principle.
I'm more
We
into
offer other
knowledge than
services.
money.
Like,
All right,
I'll talk to you about it then.
all right. Good luck. This cat's got to go.
Nice.
He dashes his way up.
Farewell, Jaguar man.
So you guys pile into the little the cart here.
Alright.
All right, you hop in, roll. Yeah, the little. I mean, we're going to the well. That was very interesting. You picked that image. So you roll your way down the track. It goes on and on for a little while. I mean, I'm sure Merle's got some like nice country western tunes to accompany you. Make the journey a little more bearable. But pretty soon it ends at another station, and there is a stairwell leading right up into like a trap door that can be opened.
Alrighty.
Once more to the breach.
Yes. We'll go forward.
All right, you guys open it up. You emerge, blinking into the fading daylight, onto a bizarre suburban street. Desert wind rustles past rows and rows of identical homes, white picket fences and manicured lawns right out of Mayberry. The only residents? Motionless mannequins. June Cleaver housewives, apple-cheeked kids, hard-working businessman dads, and even loyal pets. All rendered in stiff, permanently smiling plastic. A sign
Nevada.
A sign on the corner reveals the truth of the place. Nevada Nuclear Testing Range.
We're in Nuketown.
Oh dear.
The biggest house on the block belongs to Merle. He's sporting a Hawaiian shirt and Bermuda shorts,
Totally would.
grilling a steak the size of a brick on a massive grill. Merle skewers the steak and flips it over, wreathing himself in steam. He gives you $1 million smile and gestures to the table next to him, where 4 glasses of lemonade wait, and greets you with a hearty, "Welcome to the neighborhood."
I immediately am just like, how do y'all deal with radiation? Because, humans don't fare that well.
I am not affected by it. This is actually quite cozy to me.
Lucky
I've not
you.
experienced
Lucky you. I'm immediately just like, don't touch anything. Wear my lead-lined gloves.
Merle's like, "Oh, you worried about something there, Miss Fontaine?"
Pour my bottle of gin out, which is broken now. Just like, fuck. I guess, yes.
It is all right. Due to the drinking, you should already have cancer.
Oh man, no need to worry.
He's not wrong.
Is it cancer or just a bad liver? Either way,
Cirrhosis. Liver, cirrhosis, yeah. Well,
Oh.
I
you
guess
seem
it's...
you seem to have taken residence in a interesting place.
Yeah, I appreciate the aesthetics of it.
Is it still active?
Is it? Hey, don't you?
Well, the mannequins are intact, right?
Yeah.
Well, then,
I mean, I see you might already know the purpose of these places. They made these little mock-ups of average American towns, more or less. And then what they're about to do is drop nuclear weapons on them so they can see what it's going to be like when the big one happens. And that's not a if, that's a when.
It's very true.
See, here's what it's got.
Valid?
It's got me thinking. These what I saw over there in Germany around the 1930s, it was bad. And what's going on over here, America, the victors, land of freedom and opportunity, the righteous winners, huh? It's supposed to be all better. So for they make these world-killing weapons here, and they're willing to go to war, wipe out the whole human race, everything else, in a nuclear blast. And what's on their battle cry? What are they fighting for? Well, it's a little white picket fence and a manicured lawn and dog bringing you slippers in the evening. I'm sick of that bullshit. I don't like that.
I like the TV.
It's not worth nothing.
sips the lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade's good at least.
Slightly,
Yeah.
slightly tingly.
But yeah, I would say, look, on the human race, the best they come up with is doomsday and a little clock looks like a cat. Its eyes go back and forth. Well, I think it needs a bit of a reset.
And what is it that you are searching for?
Well, I might need a bit of a reset myself, come to think of it.
Uh-oh.
I've gathered everything I could, done everything I could, and happiness just ain't there. But I'm thinking what really might change things around, no matter what happens to me, is making humanity figure out something better for them as well. That's why I partnered up with the goofballs. They are the something else.
Oh dear. The
Yeah.
squids.
Yeah, they
Fucking
got themselves a
demons.
real keen plan.
They're not of this world. You realize that, Merle.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're worth a damn.
Well, if my research into my own past has any sort of indication, dealing with dark powers is not always the best.
Yeah, I hear you. But then again, dealing with light powers, what has that gotten anything? Look at this place. Mankind's about as, I don't see no witches making nuclear bombs.
Heh. No,
Or
witches
bring it out.
tend to find other means that are very similar to nuclear bombs.
Yeah, it could be. Nothing is bad.
Debatable.
And, weren't no vampire invented golf.
That we know of.
I believe that was a Scotsman.
Coming with Scott's vampire. Lord
Scott's
knows-
vampire. Well, look,
Lord knows I don't like the sun either.
from where I'm standing, it's all mankind, and mankind's making one mistake after another. So, I think it's time for him to go.
And who gives you the right to decide this, Merle? You are just one person among many.
Correction, one dragon. If you're speaking to a god, so you can show some respect.
You are a lizard.
Big overgrown loser that kind of breathes a little smoke here and there.
You
Like
may have-
steam starting to leak out from him,
You
and
may have been
the
powerful.
lemonade
at
is
one-
like cooking in his hand.
Good.
It's starting to like boil in the glass there.
I will say there's a reason why very few dragons exist nowadays.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, let me tell you something. This one might be going out. I'm okay with that. I've made my peace. I'll just restart. But you four are going to end your ways here. Either the dragon's going to get you, or the nuke will. And then the squids will be free to take the Quillpoth, and do with them what they need. And with that, he starts like snarl and transform, and the wings are breaking through his Hawaiian shirt there.
Oh dear.
And yeah, scales coming to life under his Bermuda shorts. I need you guys to roll the initiative. Roll them that keep it cool,
Lost that.
so you can see who's going first. Yeah, lost that. Anybody get a 12 or over for this? No.
11.
Oh wow! All right,
That's
looks like
good.
Rate's going first.
People with high spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Not me.
equivalent of your high dexterity. Anybody
Yeah.
get a 3? Anybody get a 10 to 9? No, 8 or 7?
Got an 8.
7.
Okay.
That
8
lucky
for
number's
Azra.
3.
Although I keep my cool with blood. My spirit is not.
Oh, that's handy. 7 for Max. And of course, sorry, Booker, 3.
Yep.
Booker
The,
will be
the,
going
the
last.
mortal who has no idea what the heck she's doing in the situation.
And then Merle. And I will say, like, well, let's let the fight go on, then we'll see what happens. Wraith, what are you doing to stop Merle here?
Let's just for the sake of things, let's put a shield on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give everyone +1 armor.
Always good.
So that's spending 2 of my channel, and then I don't know if I can do anything else. I mean that would be up to you. I mean, I would start to sort of channel some elementalism, sort of see if I can create a snowstorm, but.
No, that will be your next round. Yeah, I think the armor's
That's fine.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Azra?
Azra. Alright. I'm going to draw the dragon slaying sword and charge right at Merle. With
Whoa.
no concern for my own well-being. And would you say this is in service to the powerful since I'm doing this to square the death of Goody Pride?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Alright, so I get 2 additional armor, bringing me up to 3. And I'll unleash an attack on him.
Nice.
Trying to drive that sword right through his eye. No, I'm getting my big black dice for this.
Yeah. Power move.
4, 10.
Nice.
Whoa.
Is it an 11 since it's +1 towards dragons?
No, the +1's harm. +1's
+1
harm.
harm.
+1
one extra
harm.
harm.
Gotcha. Alright.
So
So,
it's 4 harm against dragons.
are we doing terrible harm? or
Terrible
taking some-
harm.
Woohoo. All right, you just like rip into him with the sword. Or what does it look like? I mean,
What does it look like? the huge statue who charges impossibly fast, wouldn't expect him to be this fast, and just tries to drive the sword right through his scales into his heart. Doesn't penetrate all the way, but I bet I get him good.
Okay, what's the harm total?
+1 harm plus dragons, 5, I think.
Oof. All right. This is a really powerful blow. You just you ram the sword in. You're able to and I was just stuck into him at this point. Yeah, you're just holding on to it. Okay, next up is Max.
Well, since it's a new battle, let's see what my hold is on that, and that's going to be 1 hold. So I think that's 1 second. Yep. I take I hold 1 and take a -1 forward.
Okay.
Actually, wait, that's with blood. Now I got to do math. Sorry. 2, 6, 7. Actually, no, that is a 7 through 9, so I hold 2.
Oh, much
So
better.
I'm glad I can math and actually add what I'm supposed to be adding. All right. So with that, I will use one of those moves immediately, being to disable an NPC within my reach. So for that, he will take out the ice, the Hodin, the Jotun axe, and he will take out the katana that Kit gave him, and he will strike them against each other and send shards from the axe towards his wings, shredding them.
Whoa, that's so cool. All right, I will see you have successfully de-winged Merle. You clipped his wings. Yeah, those ice shards just stab straight into them, ripping him to some leathery shreds. He roars in pain at the blow. Next up, what is Booker doing?
They got the dragon under control. I'm worried about the nuke. I'm try to keep my eye out for trouble and trying to keep a gauge on the situation at large, including the testing facility here. I'm trying to snoop. That's much better. That's a 9. So it's only hold 1 still. Let's see. What is my best way in and out?
Okay, I would say you notice that you can either go back down that trapdoor and head out that way, or the vehicles here, you notice, and there are some surprisingly fancy sports cars, are actual working vehicles.
He could not bring his own transportation.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sprint over and try to see if I can start one of those cars up my next turn.
Merle. I mean, I was thinking the nuclear testing. You'll put real cars here, because they got to see what actual cars would look like when they're nuked. But I like your idea better than Merle has his own private automobile collection stretched out here.
One of them is a very particular Nash that drives on very particular.
Oh
type of
man,
fuel.
the Ware Nash.
The Ware Nash.
Whoa,
That's
thinking me back. Yeah.
Unconsciously running towards the weirdest looking car. That's probably gonna go pretty fast.
All right, you run towards the werewolf car.
Yep.
Okay,
Around
so
those Appalachians.
at this point, Merle is going to. His goal is to keep you guys here. He doesn't care about dying because he'll come back, and he kind of resigned himself to this anyway. What he is going to do is make a big circular curtain of fire all the way around this part of the block to trap you in with him. So I want everybody to roll a keep your cool. No? Anybody succeed?
7.
Is that okay?
Got a 6.
All right.
Snake eyes.
I'm sorry, Booker.
Yeah.
You are on. You're in Grievous.
Yeah. How many?
Or no, I'm gonna actually.
I have 1 armor currently.
I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna say you're 2 in Grievous.
Oh my
Lose
god.
all of that. 1 more and you're in critical. Severely burned. Yeah. You are totally scorched.
I have 3 armor.
And you rolled 7?
6.
A 6. Okay, all your armor's gone.
Dang.
Dragonfire is really hot. And you got a 7?
I have a 7, and I was sporting the +1 armor.
Booker can't die.
Okay, you're okay. Your armor's gone.
She's in the future.
How is
That's
how
a
did Wraith
9.
do? A 9? Okay. Your armor is gone. You gave yourself, but you're otherwise okay. All right. Also, you hear wailing in the distance. The sort of looping air raid siren of being like, nuclear testing in progress. Clear the area. And you guys hear a rockety explosion coming to life in the distance.
Oh dear.
What time is that?
All right, that is back to top of the order with Wraith, I believe.
Yep. Let's see.
So you got Merle, you have a humongous ring of fire that is
Yeah.
a burning desire that is keeping you all in place.
Could I conjure the elements? Yeah, let's do some elementalism. As both a sort of combination, I'm basically just sort of creating a huge snowstorm in the area to both get rid of the fire and do some harm to our good friend, to Merle.
Yeah, Patchy, I'm sorry we're like messing up your
No,
character.
I love it. Kill Merle, please do. He's a villain. If he has to die, he has to die.
That's fair.
That is fair.
He'd want to go out this way anyways, killed by his friends.
Oh yeah. So
Technically, we only knew him for like a day.
yeah.
Well,
I knew him
Max.
for a while.
You knew him
Yeah.
for a while.
You know.
He still consider you acquaintances.
So
We were
to
brothers
say
in battle.
to use.
Still betrayed you in the end.
So it says I can, with elementalism, I can use it to unleash with my magic. So, and I just marked a corruption to use the dark arts, which means that I can unleash with spirit instead of blood.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Nice.
11.
Whoa.
So I'm guessing this would be sort of like a. It says as a magic weapon, as a 3-harm close or a 2-harm close area. So I'm guessing it would be the 2-harm close area.
Yeah, it's area effect.
Yeah.
So I'd say set. Okay. So it's hitting Merle, and with that, yeah, I would say the ice strikes the flame and is able to. Lots of steam is going up, of course, but yeah, that fire is out of the way. You can see the way clear to the Werenash. Wraith, what is Azra doing? You're still like holding on to the sword, like jammed into him.
Yes, and I'm going to make sure he dies. Even if I have to stay here with him. But I also notice you need to get out.
You can see me running towards this car.
You see, you run
So,
towards the car.
I have a plan.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright.
And yeah, I've started heading towards the car as well.
Alright, so I'm gonna wedge that sword right into there some more. If is 4, 7, 2, 9.
Okay.
Close.
All right. What are you picking from the top list there?
Alright, so I'm gonna take something from him. I'm gonna take away his ability to move.
Ah.
Which means I'm going to grab onto the sword, ram it back into him, if it comes out of the other side, and just grab onto it and hold it there.
Okay. So before he couldn't fly because his wings were shredded, now you are holding him in place.
So
with
that will
the-
do 4 damage to him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I guess it's a bad spot.
Yeah.
I'm going to get nuked.
And I would say even before that, like as you're pulling up real close to him, he just like opens his mouth, which is now turned to that dragon, the dragon maw. The teeth, the fangs are heated to a red hot temperature, and he just takes a big bold bite out of you.
Alright.
Yeah. So let's have you roll a keep your cool to show how bad it's gonna be, but it will be bad. It's gonna be.
I'm
bad.
taking that. I am taking that.
Okay. What is it? It's ooh, nice.
Yes, 13.
Whoa! All right. I would say you only get. You're okay. So your armor was taken off by the fire.
Yep.
Were you at any?
I'm at 1 faint.
Okay, so obviously that bumps you up to the Grievous.
Alright, I'm Grievous, gotcha.
Yeah, which is like a big chunk of the stone, just like burning fangs in your shoulder.
Ow.
Yeah, it hurts, and he's just like holding on, trying to tear you apart. All right, And as he's doing that, he's kind of growling. He's like, speaking with his mouth full, of course. Yeah, but he's able to get the names of understood. He's like, you can go ahead and stay here if you want. I got your finger already. Now me and the nuke will take the rest of you.
You have no idea what I am capable of, Merle. You will have to die. You won't remember who you were, but I will live on. I will grow more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
He's like, well, guess what, Mr. Stone? Joke's on you. Like I said before, this is Merle's last rodeo. I'm okay with it. I'm ready to start fresh. How about you?
Then we will meet again in another life.
That might just be the way of it, buddy. Max, you overhear this too. You realize, like, Merle's goal is to keep Azra here and destroy him. Merle is okay with dying in the nuclear explosion. Because he'll be
he
reborn.
might be okay with it, but Max isn't okay with it.
Ah.
I'm going to mark corruption and use a move that I gained, actually 2 moves that I gained about 2 and 3 sessions ago, in which it is, if I can find it, apologies, just below the surface. So, tagging the just below the surface, I will spend mark a corruption and reveal his tainted form, in which, or the devil inside, for, so the vampire Max King just changes into a hulking bat-like creature with claws, healing himself for the damage he's taken, and using my last point of the vigilante, he will disable Merle further while pulling him off of Azra with his claws, and he stands there full bat form with wings everywhere, and he looks down at Azra and says, "It's time to go."
I'm sorry, but I have to make sure he's dead.
Well, the disabling move will probably be just as he grabs him, breaking the back, not to do more damage, but just to keep him. He's done. He's not going anywhere. We have to keep them safe.
I'm sorry, but
Thanks.
I have to make sure he's... It's not my turn, but can I resist an instinct?
Yeah, I think this is fair.
Yeah. To break the defiant, which is Merle, that is. And what is that with spirit keeping your cool? So that is an 8. So I succeed. I can resist if I want to.
All right, are you gonna take Max up on the offer and help us to escape? Because yeah, Merle's probably like
He's
done
broken.
for.
He's not going anywhere. We have to get
With the
them to
nuclear
safety.
weapon inbound too.
You're all wasting time. You need to leave. Don't worry about me. I will be fine.
I'll see you when the radiation wears off. And he will make his way to the vehicle to scoop up the vehicle and take it with them.
Okay, Booker. Any final thing you want to do here as you're scooting out of here?
Just get to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the where now.
Yeah, I was getting the word Nash. I'm gonna yell out to Az. Az. We need you now more than ever. Merle. We're not gonna be able to kill Merle today. May not be able to kill Merle ever. And you're gonna have to live with that understanding. We need you now, though. For whatever's about to happen, we need you here.
If we kill
You
him
staying here and waiting out your radiation, it's gonna take a long ass time, and we're never gonna see you again, maybe not in this lifetime. We need you now more than ever. Join us, please. Let's get out of here.
He's almost in 2 pieces. Let's go.
Merle is a pawn in this. If we realize it, if what he has said is true, then
I'm already in the Nash, by the way.
these demonic beings are the true enemy.
That is true.
So kill some fucking squids.
There is a bigger threat here. But can I do so? I wonder, We haven't figured out what the shawl actually does. But can I just, I don't know, reach into Merle? Maybe? And try to make sure he doesn't come back. I don't know. It's like,
Well, I will say, I mean, Merle, as you know him, will not come back.
yeah.
But the dragon within him will be, like, reincarnated.
Yeah. Can I, like, do something with the dragon with the shawl from Shangri-La?
Maybe what you could do is, like,
Restore his goodness.
possibly.
Doesn't do shit to a
Possibly.
dragon.
Maybe I can uncorrupt.
Oh, no. I will tell you what you do with the shawl.
Mhm.
You wrap it around Merle. And he starts to, like, glow. The cloth is glowing. And then it starts to, like, he starts to shrink. You kind of put the shawl blanket style on top of him, knowing somehow, just from the intricate weavings, enchanted weaving itself, that this is what you're supposed to do. And then you see, the outline of Merle shrinks, fades away like the corpse is just decaying and disappearing, fills its way in, and then pretty soon, all that's left is a tiny sphere. And when you unroll the shawl, you see that inside is an egg.
Another life. Maybe that's what it shall be. Let's go.
Great, because we're gonna die here pretty soon.
We can just go the way we came.
Probably not enough time for that. You see, like, the nuclear weapon, like the smoke trail of it, the jet stream, is like coursing up. It's gonna hit pretty soon, so probably hitting the road in that Werenash with putting some speed into it could be the way out of here. In fact, you can give it some boost of somehow. That might really
My
help.
plan is to land on it and push with the wings and just go as fast as possible.
That would really help. In fact, give me a let it out to see if it works.
Let it out is going
Spirit.
to be spirit.
Astro, you can write down that you have a dragon egg in your possession now.
Okay. So let it out will be a 7.
Okay. You put some. You give it a good. Puts a lot of momentum through it. The wheels start going. The engine's going full blast. You're zooming around. In the rear view, you see that nuke coming down. Still might not be enough.
Can I look around to see if there's any extra fuel in here, anything particular, something like a container or something?
Sure. Why don't you give me? You can do the snoop maybe for this.
Sure.
Extra together.
I also have Machinist if you guys need it.
That's gonna be a 8. So, what here is not what it seems.
The car itself.
Okay, inside the car.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. What you find there is a jar of that moonshine, Howler brand moonshine, that you can reach over and add to the gas tank.
All right.
would there be enough for me to drink after?
Yeah, it's a full jar, but
Yeah, I'll
who
put
knows
it,
what happens when you do?
I'll put at least half of it in there, and then the other half will cork. Like, I'll save this for later.
Okay, I would say combined with like that gives the car sort of a blue flame started coming out of the back. The engine starts howling.
We got Nos.
Yeah.
What is this car?
And yeah, this werewolf car, like there's definitely a wolfish aspect. Like there's like fur on the upholstery
This is so weird.
that is coming out. There's like fur on the steering wheel as you're holding it, and it starts going a lot faster. And you find yourself driving a little bit more aggressively. But thanks to that, as well as the wings, you were able to zoom outside the town onto the road. And as you careen out in the distance, the nuke comes down. The humongous mushroom cloud flashes to life and wipes away this testing village. So, you guys are zooming off into the sunset, back towards Los Angeles. And maybe you see somewhere in the Nash, Merle, before he was turned into an egg, left a whole bunch of opening tickets for the grand opening of Squidland.
Don't go there. They're evil.
Well, unfortunately, we have to go there because they're the ones behind all this shit.
Dang, we have to go there. Because they're evil.
Everybody wants some moonshine? My hand's kind of like shaking severely at this moment.
I can try.
That'll be a waste.
Dang.
I gotta give you the custom move.
I
for
know,
Howler
it's
Brand,
already
yeah.
somewhere.
All right, so
We'll need a tailor, that's for sure.
So, and as you guys are zooming away, I think we're going to draw this chapter to a close. We'll go into those final moves. But we will pick up this story next week when you guys visit Squidland in a chapter entitled The Tragic Kingdom. Some more of that, more fun theme park shenanigans. But first, let's talk about those closing moves. I think we'll start with Booker. So did a faction go up? Did a faction go down? And then you feel you have any new debts? NPCs or your fellow, your party members here.
That's... As for what going up and going down, I think Knight went up because it gave us some really useful information and we did some good work with them. But I think Wild dropped again.
Because of Merle.
Oh, and the squids.
Oh yeah,
The squids.
yeah, the squids.
It
I don't know if
really
you have it all.
just Merle and the squids and all that. It's just like, at least we have a face to put to the name, or a name to put to the face. However, either way. But as for debts to anybody, I think probably gotta be to Max. Really came in clutch there with helping us get out there. That's at least the Booker very needed.
And now you know even more secrets.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So yeah, I'll give you an extra there for that. Cool. She feels personally indebted to you for getting her out of the situation.
How about Wraith?
Yeah, I'm gonna second the raise in Knight. With my interactions with Mondragon and helping them out. So getting that out of the negatives. Let's see, to go down. Yeah. It's gonna be wild again.
Wow,
How that
wow.
works out.
And then for deaths, can't think of anything.
Okay. All right. How about Max?
Well, for Max, his Knight is going to go up because, well, finally letting out the beast within, he is more confident in himself than he has been since he was kicked out of Atlantis.
Oh, I can see
especially with making some inroads to with the princess.
Yeah, getting
So-
close to amends.
He's believing more in himself, and so therefore he'll bring up his own faction. And yet he will be bringing down Wild by one, and not because of Merle, because Merle is going to be how Merle is, and that's fine.
That's true.
What brings him down is that Azure wouldn't listen. He was trying to save him, and he wouldn't listen, and that brings it down for him by one.
Those instincts, man. They basically make you a robot.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what the
living
goal
statue
is.
kind of is. All right. Oh, Max, any debts you feel you owe or think someone owes you?
No, I mean, as far as him owing anybody, just the princess that we've already noted,
All right, it's fair. Yeah, Virginia Hill.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he attempted to get Azra out of there, but since Azra didn't take it, he wouldn't feel owed for that.
Okay. And then finally, how about Azra? Any factions up or down? With everyone's favorite living statue.
You know what? I don't think factions are going to go up or down.
Okay.
Azure more or less just acted on his own, for the most part in this game, at least. As for depths, I think we'll just see a depth, because it's basically the logic of it. Didn't really convince him, no, this is the wrong idea. It's just the logic. I can do more good out there than staying here, waiting for the radiation to fall off.
Would you say that's a moment of intimacy for our characters?
Again, you want more corruption?
Unfortunately, I'm asking if you would want to consider it that. 'Cause
I mean, yeah, sure.
yay, I'm corrupted again.
Wouldn't be a moment of intimacy for me, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you a question about being human,
Yeah.
but I am about to be human a whole bunch because now I am going to raise Merle as my own. I have the egg in my hand.
That's kind of what I was hoping would happen. And I love it.
I do not want
I
him
love it
coming
too.
back.
I love it so much.
Nah, I don't want him coming back just to be an evil dragon again. I wanted a permanent solution to this, so I will do so myself.
All right, well, we come back. We pick up like maybe a week or so. The egg is hatched, and Azra will be the proud papa of a bouncing baby dragon.
God help that poor kid.
Oh my god.
And we will see how fatherhood treats
Oh my
Azra,
god.
as well as how everybody handles a fun time in Squidland. This horrible, cursed theme park that is certainly not the happiest place on earth. But all of that and more, and we return next week
Next week.
for
Oh my God.
Generation Shadow, the penultimate episode of our 1950s arc. I'm loving this one.
This is a good episode.
And we will see everybody in the Tragic Kingdom.
Also, out of character, real quick, I really wanted Azra to be Newt. I was going hard for that.
To be mute?
Newt.
Oh, nuked.
Nuke.
Oh, nuked. Yeah, I was like, what are you, like, are you going to be a radioactive, like, death statue? Or just like, I mean,
Well,
you'd be
I'm just
blown
saying,
to dust. There
he
wouldn't
was-
even be.
Merle was de-winged, disabled by you, pinned in place by the thing, and I disabled him on top of it. It's like, dude, he's not going anywhere.
He is.
Yeah.
Like, let's
And,
go.
like, Merle wanted to die. Like, he was...
Yeah.
Let me die. He's like,
The whole
I need
point
to
was
be
just-
here.
Oh, that was
Further
so good.
disabling was just so that he couldn't stop us from leaving.
But again, I really just
You
wanted
baited
Newt.
him.
You would just be like, I'm a living cloud of radioactive dust? Like, is that what you...
No, I have erased the shun. I will survive. But then again...
He'd be horribly radioactive.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
Didn't
my- that's
think
my-
of that.
I knew where you were going. That's why my character's just like, you'd be radioactive. Even if you survive this, you can't come back to society.
That finally convinced. Yeah. Oh well.
Well, there'll be ample time for you to be destroyed in lots of other fun ways. I promise.
I go for things that are cool, not logical.
Yeah, I almost died, you guys.
And actually, I really love the idea of you becoming a father, so that is even more
Oh my
interesting
god,
to me.
that's too much for me. And
The
then,
baby Merle.
did anybody else like think of the concoctions that Merle made as Nucleate?
Nuclear.
Probably, yeah.
Nucleate.
Slightly radioactive. That's where you get the. That's why I asked, do I get a tank when I drink this?
Drink the
lemonade.
We all did.
I'm immortal!
I did. I drink also.
Nucleate.
Well, you drink everything.
Oh my god. Okay.
Take a little rad. Take a little bit of rad away, it'll be fine.
A lot.
I love how we brought back Howler Moonshine into this game.
I was totally. I mean, so many of these things. Like, I intend maybe like a small percentage of the craziness that happens
Yeah.
here. So
Because we're just
I
like,
love how we
you
brought
do
it
the
back.
rest.
Yeah.
it's improv. It's yes and.
Oh, Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the viewers all over our wherever we're at. Just know that we are always on Mixer, always on Facebook, always on Twitter, always on Twitch. So no matter what you use, just come hang out with us. Say hi. Don't say hi. Just enjoy the party. So until next week. I mean, this is gonna be a little nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
is.
we got a baby dragon.
Baby dragon.
And they bite.
I would imagine so. They're dragons.
It's like, so no, I'm very excited for that. This is to encourage everybody out there that ever watches this to go home and do this themselves, and play and just have fun with your friends. So until next week, make sure and pull up a chair
And make time to tabletop.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
See you later. Avoid radiation.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.